Hi everyone, Gianni Di Poce here with you for TheoTrade, and today is Tuesday, May 5th, 2026. I decided to call the month of May Maniacal May because I think the market is starting to go pretty crazy here. In fact, I came into this week a bit more cautious than I have been compared to prior weeks. If you recall, I've been very bullish in this market based not just on some of the time factors that I follow, but also because of the market's internal leadership. Speaking of which, last week was the first time in over a month where technology was not the top performing sector on a 5-day interval. It was actually energy. And so that prompted me to be a bit more cautious coming into this week. So, needless to say, I am pleasantly surprised because despite my cautious stance to begin the week, I wasn't so cautious to the point where it prompted me to change my actual positioning. So this is a really good reminder and a good example of how in trading there's a big difference between having an opinion and being positioned. My bullish positioning remains unchanged, and so seeing the S&P 500 here up 0.9%, pressing into the highs of the day is a very good sign. In fact, it looks like it wants to have a go for around 7,400. And then at that point, who knows, maybe we will finally pause. We do have some more big tech earnings coming. Well, maybe not big tech, but just big earnings in general this week, still in the thick of earnings season, and so far the results have been fantastic. Last week that was the decisive factor, and we really got confirmation that the market cares more about earnings growth and the leadership from the large cap, mega cap tech names than any of the geopolitical factors or any of the other bad things going on in the world right now. So you do have the Nasdaq outperforming once again, up about 1.5% on the day, and it's hitting a new all-time high. Now, it's crazy because a few weeks ago, when I shared my upside objective in the $29,000 to $30,000 area, I was laughed at, I was scoffed at, I was met with insults. That's okay. That's part of trading, but it doesn't seem so far-fetched now. In fact, this is another example where I'm actually like uncomfortably surprised that we've gotten this far this quickly. And so it makes me wonder, do we hit that 29-30K level in the Nasdaq and then embark on a multi-month period of sideways action? Not as long as what we just broke out from, because we've had this base here in the Nasdaq highlighted. I think we're still very early. But do we deal with another round of volatility, or perhaps, some sideways action that's in effect for a couple of months? Because remember, guys, this still is a midterm year, and typically midterm years exhibit a lot of choppy price action. But, even though energy led last week, the growth signals, the growth sectors are firing on all cylinders again this week. Philadelphia Semiconductor Index up just shy of 5%, another new all-time high here. In fact, last week, I booked profits in Intel on the rally to 100 for the $1 million challenge portfolio. It is up a little bit more here today, but I'm not really fretting about that because for me, there's plenty of meat in the middle to make a living in this business. So still got the trade in Intel for about 100% gain. It was a really nice way to end the week last week. But whether it's Intel or Dell or AMD, there's just been so much strength in these tech names. It truly is remarkable. Now, I am watching for a rotation within the broader Magnificent 7 or the Magnificent 10 stocks. Meta's been beaten up. Microsoft not looking all that hot. I'm warming up quite a bit to software here. I'll get to that in a moment. But even Palantir, you had earnings and it's down 6.5%. So the main driver of returns in these mega cap tech names has been advanced micro devices. You do have earnings on this today, up over 50 or 60% on the year, I believe. Just tremendous movement. Of course, there's Google too, which was the real winner in the mega cap earnings last week. So needless to say, good things happening. My only concern now is how fast and how far we are rallying. Does that lead to another period of sideways action? Because it's really remarkable when you consider how last week stocks were hitting new all-time highs, yet across various sentiment surveys, bearishness or bearish sentiment actually increased. So this goes to show that a bull market climbs a wall of worry. All you have is price, all you have is time, all you have is momentum, all you have is relative strength, and all you have is risk reward. The narrative doesn't matter. Sentiment follows price, not the other way around. So very important, especially When you look at what's happening in crude oil today, there were some bombs flying yesterday in the Strait of Hormuz. And I saw this headline. I can't remember if it was late last night or early this morning, but I said, oh, great. The price of oil is going to be up big again. And I get to my desk today and I see oil down. So if bombs flying aren't going to send crude oil higher, that tells me that the risk profile in this commodity is changing. And if we lose 100, it opens the door for a drop back down to 90. That would be a most welcome development for the overall market and for bonds, especially, that correlation of higher oil prices and higher dollar seems to be playing out, save for the dollar yen. But remember, you do have some holidays in Japan right now, so I wouldn't put too much stock in that. The euro is up slightly against the dollar here today. Now, the last thing I want to discuss, because I actually think that stocks are a bit of distraction right now, and I've been looking at the cryptocurrency sector quite a bit because I've been calling it the last bullish domino to fall. I don't know whether Bitcoin goes on to make a new all-time high. In fact, I don't really care. Bitcoin could double from that low of, early February and still not be at a new all-time high. So I'm prepared for whatever happens next. But one thing that cannot be argued is that cryptocurrency has become an excellent, and it's been this way for a couple of years, but it's an excellent way to measure the market's risk appetite. So seeing this start to break out here today is extremely exciting. In fact, there's been some incredible moves in names like Cipher Mining or Cipher Digital and IREN, Hut 8, hit new all-time highs recently. You even have MicroStrategy that has earnings today. So I'd watch that pretty closely. You get above 185, 190 here in MicroStrategy. Well, the Michael Saylor apology tour may be coming to an end. Needless to say, you could see this thing back around 270, 280 before we know it. So in summary, guys, we are in a bull market. The path of least resistance for stocks and even apparently crypto now remains higher. And so you have to capitalize on these opportunities. The getting won't always be this good. And this is just one of those times where I think we're trading through history. The rally we've seen in semiconductors has been historic, and even in tech, it's been incredible. So it's not going to last forever. Get it while the getting's good, and then keep looking for those great opportunities. We're going to keep members posted, both in the Trinity and in the Trade Desk chat room, going on the best opportunities in this market. So that's all for now, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the chat room. Take care.